Hey, this is Miss Frazier. We are going to go through your right triangles and the Pythagorean theorem booklet together. I'm going to do two examples, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and complete your other two problems. And I'm also going to give you a couple of other instructions on how your booklet should look before you show it to your teacher to check. Okay, so we have investigated the parts of a right triangle. You should have already glued down all your triangles or highlighted based on your teacher. And on each of the questions, you should have already answered what you're solving for. So number one, you should have that you're solving for your hypotenuse. So Rob designed a garden in the shape of a rectangle. He plans to build a fence through the garden as shown below. So we have our dotted line here, which is across from our right angle. So since you already know we're solving for our hypotenuse, I'm going to do 6 squared plus 8 squared, and this will give me c squared, the square that would be found off of the hypotenuse or the longest side of our triangle. 36 plus 64 will give me c squared. 36 plus 64 gives me 100. So 100 is the area of the square that is off of the hypotenuse. So if that's the area of the square, I'm going to find the side length to give me the length of the side. The square root of 100 equals 10. So 10 feet would be the length of the fence for Rob's garden. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead. I'm skipping over 2 and 3 because I want you to complete those. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip over 2 and 3. I want you to complete those. And I'm going to go to number 4, please. Okay, so you should have answered this one already. What part are you solving for? Well, here you're solving for a leg. So that's different than the hypotenuse, or solving for the hypotenuse, because I'm looking for one of the smaller squares that make up the sum of the larger square. So I'm going to plug in the numbers I know. I know 4 squared plus b squared, the area of the square I don't know, will equal 5 squared. 16 plus b squared will equal 25. Okay, so if I know one area of a square, and I know the largest square has an area of 25, to find the smaller square, I'm going to subtract. So now I have that b squared equals 25 minus 16 is 9. Well, that's the area of the square. Remember that my hypotenuse always has to be the longest side. So 5 has to be the largest number. 9 could not be my answer. So always pay attention to that. So I'm going to find the square root of 9. Oops. Don't put a b squared there, just b. So b equals 3. So that means the distance that the ladder is from the base of the house in this picture is 3 feet. Okay, so I want to explain your directions for the extra triangles page. On this page, you're supposed to go ahead and attach your remaining triangles. If you haven't done that, please do that. And then it says use a ruler, so you're going to need a ruler, to measure the legs of each right triangle to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So you're going to measure the legs and then you're going to solve for the hypotenuse. And of course, if you like, you can always measure your hypotenuse and check your work to see if you came up with the correct length for your hypotenuse from your Pythagorean theorem of a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The last thing you need to do in your booklet is the diagram on the last page of Pythagorean theorem. You don't need to write this, but this is just for you to know. Go use your foldable to label the parts of your triangle. Okay, so you're going to label and highlight your legs and your hypotenuse according to where they will be found in your right triangle. Once you've done all that, make sure it is glued into your notebook and make sure you have checked with your teacher before you move on to your Pick 2s for today.